So, resolution naman tayo. What is resolution? Okay, I'm gonna open something. It's this. Okay. So, when you create, meron tayong resolution, no? Usually, it is set sa 300. Sometimes, when you choose any preset, it will be set sa 72. So, dalawa lang yung value dito sa Photoshop, either 72 or 300. But, you can always have your own number. Kahit 1, kahit 2, kahit 3, kahit 600 pa yan i-type mo. But let's get to know what resolution is, or pixels per inch, or PPi. Okay, that's pixels per inch. So we have two images here. Ayan. It's a flower. And looking at it, diba, it says here that this image only have 60 pixels per inch. And on the right side naman, it has 240. Aside sa number, what else can you observe? What else are you noticing sa dalawang photo na to? Anyone would like to?
Mas pixelated po yung nasa left side.
Mas pixelated, okay? Mas blurry, okay? Right. So sa left side, mas pixelated siya, mas blurry siya. Sa right side naman, klaro, right? High quality or highly defined yung mga details. So maybe we could say that the lower the PPi, the lower the quality, while the higher the PPi, the higher the quality. So PPi is that stands for pixels per inch, or how dense are the pixels inside a square inch. So let's pretend. Let's just pretend, okay? Guys, you don't have to memorize this, no? I'm just sharing this so that may idea tayo. Especially if you are into printing. You don't have to memorize the technicality dito. Okay. So let me just choose a color that will stand out. So let's just pretend that this is a square inch. And nag-zoom in tayo, ito yung mga pixel niya. Okay? Let's just pretend. Likewise here. There. Okay. So, PPi, so kung kukuha tayo ng area na 1 inch square, bibilangin natin no, ilan yung pixel. Let's just pretend, let's cross this out. Let's just pretend that this is the PPi. So sa left side, we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So, meron tayong 3 PPi in this photo. On the right side naman, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 PPi. Okay. Aside sa number of pixels sa example number 1 and example number 2, aside sa number ng pixels nila, what else are you noticing? Mas malaki yung pixels sa left side kesa sa right side. Do you agree? No? So, there are two things that we can conclude here. So, if there are few pixels or few PPi, the pixels will be bigger. But if there are many pixels, or there is a higher value ng PPi, the pixels will be smaller. Okay? Number 2 na pwede natin makonclude is that, so if we look back in this photo, the reason why we are seeing pixelations here, because they are bigger. And bakit nga sila bigger? Kasi konti lang sila. Right? So another conclusion here, guys, is that, does it mean, coach, na kung konti lang yung PPi, pangit yung quality ng photo? And if marami yung PPi, or yeah, yung value, mas malaki yung value ng PPi, mas higher the quality, no? But actually, PPi doesn't matter. Okay? PPi doesn't matter if you are not going to print this document. Meron ba tayo dito who's into printing, na may business sa na tarpaulin printing or t-shirt printing? Okay, Sir Gene, ano po yung natin, yung type of business? Is it large format po ba? Yung mga tarpaulin, billboard, printing, or yung mga office size printers like mga A4, standard sizes? Okay. PPi doesn't matter if you are not going to print this. Let's go ahead and try, no? You go to file, I'm gonna create a document, an identical size. So let's say 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels, and I will have this document for the PPi. Let's say 5. Let's say 5 PPi. And I will name this as 5 pixels per inch. I'll click create. And on another document, I am going to create, but this time it's going to be 300. Okay, yung default, di ba? And I will name this as 300 pixels per inch. I'll click create. So now we have 5 PPi in a document and 300 PPi in a document. And what I'm gonna do is I am going to load a photo dito. Let's say, kuha tayo sa day 1 natin. Eto. Okay, see? The document setting here is 1000 by 1000 pixels, but 5 yung PPi. On the other document, it's 1000 by 1000 pixel, but 300 PPi. I'm gonna export both of them. I'm gonna go to File, Export, Export As, and just click Export, Save. So I'm done dito. Dito naman sa other document, File, Export, Export As, and then click Export. Click Save. So na-save ko na silang dalawa. Now I'll open both of them side by side. Okay? This one is the 5 pixels per inch, or 5 PPi. And the other one is 300 PPi. And remember, we were able to conclude kanina na the lower the number sa PPi, the lower the quality, right? But the higher the PPi, the higher the quality. But again, the right side only have 5 PPi. So this is the quality. And this one is 300 PPi, and this is the quality. Is there any notable difference at all? Or is there any difference at all in terms of quality nilang dalawa? I'm gonna zoom in more para mas ano. Ayan. Okay? So, sa left side is 300 PPi, sa right side is 5 PPi. Any difference at all sa kanilang dalawa? Wala, no? So, bakit pa natin tinakol yung PPi? If hindi naman pala siya magmamatter. Guys, hindi po magmamatter ang PPi kahit yung minimum is 1 PPi. Kahit 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5 na PPi pa yan, regardless, it will not matter if you are not going to print this. Okay? What only matters is the number of pixels. (300 ppi), the width have 1,000 pixels and 1,000 pixels sa height. Same din sa 5 ppi natin. So if we calculate 1,000 times 1,000, we have 1 million pixels here and 1 million pixels on the other image. So basically, they have the same number of pixels lang. Right? That's what matters sa quality. Okay? Hindi yung PPi if you are not going to print this. Now, our printer uses not PPi but DPi. Okay? So before tayo ma-confuse, let's just give out the takeaway dito na information. Ano yung iti-take out lang natin na information? Ano yung importanteng information dito? So, PPi will only matter if you are going to print this. But if not, if i-upload mo lang sa Facebook, sa Instagram, sa Twitter, you'll send it sa email, or i-view mo lang siya sa mobile phone mo or sa computer or sa projector mo, anything that you will be using sa screen, PPi will not matter. Okay? Because what matters lang sa screen is the number of pixels. Sa printing naman, PPi matters kasi this is the communication between your document and your printer. Our printer does not have pixels, di ba? It does not use pixels at all. Our printer uses dots or DPI or dots per inch. So let's say you create an A4 sized paper. Okay, A4. Okay, let's just pretend A4, create natin. So our printer, how it prints is, 'di ba? I'm not sure if you were able to observe, but 'di ba sa printer natin may mechanism na mag-move from left to right, 'di ba? And then as it moves, it will print the ink dito sa paper, 'di ba? So, basically, if you set the document as 3 PPi, let's just pretend, ang gagawin ng printer mo is that in a 1-inch square, there will only be 3 dots. Ibig sabihin, going back dito, it's gonna be bigger. Hence, it is more visible. So, pangit yung quality. Anyway, guys, you don't have to worry about PPi if you're not going to print this. But if ever man na magpiprint ka, you will be safe, no? You should be safe sa 300 or even 75 or 72, sorry. Kahit na magprint ka, 300 I think is the sweetest spot, especially sa mga small paper sizes. But for the large format na, yung mga tarpaulin na talaga, ginagamit daw nila, yung previous na mga students ko, they use 72. Mayroon akong student before who owns also a tarpaulin printing. Gumagamit sila ng 50, meron 60, and I asked them why. They said the lower the PPi, although lower the quality, but at the same time they are saving ink and mas mabilis siyang i-print. So yan siguro yung ginagawa, yan siguro mga practice na mga hindi ko generalize guys, but siguro yan yung reason bakit yung ibang mga tarpaulin na mga nakikita natin sa kalsada, some of them are very blurry, pangit yung quality. It's because they really sinasadya nila na liitin yung resolution or PPI. For billboards, guys, meron akong guide. I will share it later. I will post it sa group. Everything related sa PPI. Okay? And yung guide wherein, kunyari, for example lang, if you are planning to purchase a large printing machine, like pang tarpaulin or billboard, that guide might help. Okay? But for now, make use of however you want sa information na to. Okay? Sir Richard, okay po. Can you send a message sa Wave 29 natin para para ma-notice ni Ma'am Janine so she can add you sa group. Okay po. I hope that's fine. That's fine. Ayan. Any question with the resolution na part? Clarification? None so far? How about the others? Are we good? Again, guys, no? Do not stress yourself. If you're not going to print this, just leave this alone. Okay? If you're going to print this, and if you're still not sure, just set it to 300. That's the default. Color mode naman, we have 5. We have bitmap, grayscale, RGB, SIMYK, and lab color. Now, I'm not gonna discuss all of them. Yung importante lang. RGB. RGB stands for red, green, and blue, and that's what our pixels uses or produces, no? The RGB colors. The takeaway here, if you are not going to print whatever project it is that you're making, choose RGB. If you are going to print this naman, choose CMYK because our printers does not use red, green, and blue sa mga ink nito. It uses the cyan, magenta, yellow, and black na inks, di ba? So, what if, Coach, I chose CMYK pero hindi ko ipiprint? Or say, vice versa, no? RGB pero ipiprint ko. So, if you design or if you mag-layout ka dito, ginamit mo RGB mode, let me pull the swatches or the colors. This will be the red sa RGB, the yellow, the green, the sky blue, the blue, and the pink. Sa CMYK naman, this is the red of the CMYK, the yellow, the green, the cyan, the blue, and the magenta. Okay? Is there any difference at all sa color nila? Yung nasa taas, yun yung RGB. Yung nasa baba, yan yung CMYK. Okay? So, if you are designing, tapos you're so happy sa design mo, layout mo, but to find out na naka-RGB ka pala, kaya siya super vibrant, super bright, di ba? Kasi you're viewing it sa screen. Ayan. When you print it, it will look like this. Okay? Kasi our printers does not use RGB. It uses CMYK. So, gagawin mo is in the first place, i-layout mo na ganito siya. So, since here, dito pa lang, alam mo na kung ano i-adjust mo. So, when you print this, you are going to have or yung output ng pagka-print would be like 80 to 90 or maybe 100% chance na tugma yung colors nila. If hindi, then you would need to readjust and readjust again. So, do not forget in printing, before pa man na mag-final print out ka na, gumawa ka muna ng test print. para makita mo kung ano yung itsura ng pagka-print mo. Okay? So, if there's a need for you to readjust, do it. Okay? Ano magandang gamitin pang tarp? Sir Chuck, color mode po ba? Yung question natin, is it the color mode? What color mode for tarp? Anything, kahit billboard pa yan, kahit tarpaulin, kahit sa office printer mo, choose CMYK. Yun lang. Again, anything that revolves around printing, related sa printing, choose CMYK. If it is not about printing, if it is just for social media consumption, RGB lang. Okay? You're welcome po. So, the bits, we don't have to tackle these. This is for advanced na mga projects na talaga, especially sa mga high-end na mga photography. So, yun lang. Okay? Recap tayo. Name of your document, the width, the height, the unit of measurement, ano yung orientation na gusto mo, landscape ba or portrait, resolution. Are you going to print this? Is it going to be large format? Maybe start with 72. Again, I will post later on yung guide na yun for you to use as reference. If you are not going to print this, just leave this alone. If naka 300 yan or 72, just leave it alone. Now here, color mode, are you going to print this? If it's a yes, choose CMYK. If it's a no, choose RGB. And you simply click create and you're ready to do what you're gonna do here sa Photoshop. Like, mag-edit ka ba or magla-layout ka for graphic design or mag-photo manipulation.